My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episode 12. Look at that blackout.
We ask that you remain calm and stay where you are.
How can I stay calm with the performance in jeopardy?
You fought a villain?
Yeah.
I fought a pathetic kid.
It's a shame, but I don't think I'm gonna make it to the show.
So what's the situation?
I really wanted to be there too. I was so looking forward to it.
Sorted out.
He cried a little bit. He cried himself to sleep.
Guess they gotta cancel, don't they?
Never. Whatever it takes, we're putting on this concert. We have put too much into this. Too much blood, sweat, and tears. Miyu sacrificed her ankle. Blood, sweat, and ankles for this to get derailed by a little bit of a villain plot. If you can't perform in the dark during a villain plot, can you even call yourself an idol? This will be the event of the century. Everybody will remember it because it's dark, scary, and a cappella. I really hope this ends with Aizawa at the concert. My Hero Academia Idol, episode 12. Goodbye to Dad.
And Marukane's backups won't be enough to keep the show going.
This isn't gonna stop Makoto.
All we can do is call off the event and evac the crowd.
Never.
Hey, Makoto! I flew out here the second I heard there was an incident in Naruhata.
He really is reforming. In the past, he would have just like tossed those guys into the sky.
The show will go on.
Yes, of course.
But if I go on stage, I can't be taking care of things back here. Does that mean we have to cancel?
Koichi.
Wait.
I don't know how I feel that came to mind. He can do it. He's got the energy. And here's a trick, simple trick that YouTube viewers hate. Engagement almost always comes from emotion, but that doesn't have to be positive emotion.
Check it out. It's your
Oh,
mic.
that's so sweet.
I went home and got it. This is what she uses when she's putting on her live shows.
He's such a nice guy
And
and so
when there's a villain
misunderstood.
incident, she uses it to direct the crowd to safety. You're great at stuff like this.
This one thing makes the whole manager thing worth it. He's earned it. Everyone's been dunking on him this whole performance arc. What does he do in a crisis? He supports pop and believes in pop.
That's a big ask all of a sudden.
That is a big ask. This guy doesn't know what show he's in. The main point of the show is like the biggest ask.
Great at this sort of stuff.
You're right. I am amazing.
Just gotta work the crowd for half an hour tops, okay?
Half an hour is a long time when you're on stage. I mean, in a way, maybe this is more comfortable because she's used to this. She's used to solo performing.
Hey.
Dork.
Lovable dork. Who's gonna provide the lights? Lights are very important.
Hello?
Goodbye,
Overall
Dad.
speaking.
I'm calling from Naruhata General Hospital.
Sorry about all the noise.
Yeah, I can talk. I'm not too busy. Okay, he does have quirks. Manifesting trash cans. In a country that's famous for not having trash.
There's been a sudden change in your wife's condition, sir. We need
I understand.
The timing of this.
Her family will be there soon.
The confidence, too.
Hi! All eyes on me, please!
Intros are the hardest. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing this and this and this.
The lights should be back on soon, so please stay put for now.
You're not allowed to leave.
I mostly perform at the park or outside the station, so if you're a local, you might have caught one of my shows before.
They know, they're already dancing.
My usual audience is just whoever's around, so looking out at a crowd of people who came for a show was a totally new experience for me.
Okay, we're just leading with it. Leading with our fears.
And I kind of feel like I need to use the bathroom.
Okay, you can go do
I
that.
did that more in an emotional way, you know?
How do you use the bathroom in an emotional way?
She's usually on Team Idols Don't Have Bodily Functions.
We're not in any danger, but we can still be
Thank God for you guys. Thank God for the fan club.
So if anyone else has to go to the bathroom, or if you notice you're not feeling well in any way,
What is this fixation on the bathroom?
She handles a crowd well.
that's all the info I have to pass along for now.
Only 29 minutes and 35 seconds left to fill. Woof. This is giving me excruciatingly embarrassing memories of when I first started teaching. Not understanding the time kind of works differently when you're in front of a crowd. You finish what you have planned and you look at your watch, you're like, how much time is left? 35 minutes left and no plan.
If you were out there waiting to use the restroom, you've got time
We can just talk
for the
about
main event.
using the bathroom
Plus,
for
we're
the rest of the
everywhere
29 minutes. If anyone is confused about how to use the bathroom, that is their fault. Singing in foreign language again. Singing in foreign language and English. Where's the background music coming from, though? Her mic speaker?
Another panic.
Even worse, it's kids having fun.
The power's out, and she still managed to steal the spotlight.
Damn her.
Even with her crappy singing.
Oh, we're back to being bitter. Can't help yourself, can you?
So unfair.
It's a different kind of bitterness. It's a more loving bitterness. Stop crying.
Some local street idol or something like that. She was singing at the event.
She doesn't even know you exist.
You can catch her show another time, I guess.
Can he? I don't know. It's been sort of implied that this is permanent or something.
Never seen it be like that. Was it
Very
injecting him with
astute.
something?
It was.
No. It looked like it was extracting a substance.
Oh, weird. Maybe they just don't know. I mean, the whole thing with Knuckle Duster is that the heroes don't seem to be helping with this thing or they're ignoring it. If they just don't know about it, presumably you could just tell them, is what I would have thought before I knew how personal this was. I mean, there's a way to look at it where he doesn't want help. or interference because he wants to get to his daughter himself directly. So a lot of weird colorizations changed by the knowledge of their relationship.
I know your athletic ability better than you do. And I know this neighborhood
I guess
better
it's
than
genetic.
anyone. You took the one escape route I left open to you.
It's very Art of War. Oh, don't do that to my daughter.
You plan to inject yourself with
It's
a
awfully calm
booster.
about this.
Once you shoot yourself up with trigger and start losing your psychological grip, the hive mind's instincts give way to the will of your host, and she has will to spare.
A concert? You're still trying to waste your life on music?
Oh, this is just regret fuel all the way through. He would do anything for this life.
I am your father, and you
It's
will...
always like this with you.
This is why your mom's the one who deals with you.
Nag, nag, nag. You're always nagging.
You can't let her run around with those fools.
Something probably very similar applies to what we've seen from the mom episode with Koichi, but with perhaps a slightly different flavor because the father-daughter thing. All the same issues apply where they have to become adults, which means developing autonomy and living outside of your watch, despite the fact that you know and have lived the dangers and the really stupid mistakes that you know your children will make, and particular to the father-daughter thing. As an adult male having been an adolescent male, at least at a certain point, you're probably more aware of the dangers out there that your daughter might not be. I've experienced this in some degree because I have a younger sister, and like the anxiety of that. It's probably easy to get very used to the whole like, I'm just your parent and you do what I say type thing, because how much are you going to reason with a toddler, for example, a 4-year-old or 5-year-old? You just do what I say. You don't need to understand it full yet. You can't understand it full yet. But then obviously there's a point beyond which that's useful or relevant, and over relying on that is counterproductive. I mean, I definitely felt that way. Like, who the hell are you to tell me that what you say is right when like I can see so many of the things that you're doing is not right? How's that working out for you, being right all the time? Especially with an adolescent brain and giving it a kind reading, having a different value analysis of what's important, being at a different stage of life, which probably involves working most heavily on the social and not the career. But yeah, maybe let's not use mom as a tool or intermediary in our argument. I also love the implication that his faith in this interaction going well is his knowledge of her obstinate will. I bet part of the reflection also is like, that really is him. It comes from him. No coincidence.
Dad's right. They're the worst.
Oh, this is the original one, or the previous host. No thanks.
Piss me off!
I know, Tomo. Let it out.
Yeah,
We
he's
never
had a lot of
have
time
enough.
to reflect and realize his own mistakes. That's what you're left with.
I see that now that I've had some time to reflect.
I will still shock you, though. With the sound design.
An electric quirk. I didn't know she had that card to play.
Didn't prepare
Would've
for
thought we'd
that.
choose the same
Yeah, it
weapon.
backfired a little bit.
She's
Or
got
her own
smarts
poison.
and style.
Just admiration as he's dying. Imagine the career she could have if she wasn't wasting her time with music.
See ya, Dad.
Goodbye, Dad.
Hell.
He's not dead. That was too sweet of a recollection to be death.
I need the usual painkillers. Usual amount.
Oh, this is also a dark little thing here. Maybe he's surviving on drugs himself.
Every day will screw up your brain. Be careful, all right?
It's a price you
Last
gotta
time
pay.
I checked, you're not my doctor.
Just a little more. Just a little more drugs. Gotta use drugs to fight the drugs.
The hell is all this? You cooking up some kind of poison gas?
You're asking too many questions.
Not my job to pry.
And I have
He says
another
after prying.
ask.
Go ahead and shoot.
On the stun gun.
Oh, maybe like a defibrillator or something?
On behalf of Marukane and Captain Celebrity, I'm happy to announce the festival will continue.
I think everyone's already having a good time anyway. This is a memorable event.
This is the Marukane theme song.
Thank God we got to do the theme song. This makes you think of the, damn, what's that store? Don Quixote? They have that theme running nonstop in there.
Marukane's been around.
What are you doing? You're interrupting the song. It's already an ad. You don't need to interrupt with a promotion. God, it's like I'm using YouTube.
Now we proudly turn our attention to the youth of today to cheer us on and liven things up.
Well, it's sort of like a rap section in a weird way. That was the breakdown. Wait, so the mascot is based on the actual CEO or something? Wow. Our first corporate gig, and it went so well, despite severe setbacks. You failed. We had a great time.
You just don't quit, huh? Give up. How are you even still alive?
We're definitely related.
Monster.
Don't be jealous of those kids up there.
Yeah, she wants to be a musician.
Doesn't matter where you look. Ain't a dad alive like me. I'm the best.
Well, maybe we could be. Maybe we can be. I mean, to be fair, the lengths he's gone for his daughter to try to find her and save her, it makes a compelling case. Maybe it's just one of those things of it being the wrong domain, wrong attribution, you know, like a crazier version of the love languages thing. He's not super well suited for domestic life. He's kind of a savage beast, but in a situation where he needs to rescue you, fight for you, that's who Knuckle is and that's where he shines. This is one of those things you think about later with regret. Like, let's say you have a loved one in your life, family, relationship, whatever, that's not going the way you wanted to, and you're filled with some resentment about how you were misunderstood and how you never got what you needed. And of course, it's going to be case by case, right? But in some situations later, you think about it and you're like, oh, I just wasn't seeing the ways in which that person was expressing their love. They were doing so many things for me that just weren't on my radar as things. Maybe even because they were so natural and so thoroughly given that it just felt like the default. This can also go wrong. There are some people who over-apply this and only see the good in situations that are actually terrible. It's complicated. It almost feels like this is the end of Knuckles' arc.
Time to squeeze it for all it's worth. Then I'll move on to the next one.
I wonder how many victims there've been.
There's nothing left to say but goodbye.
Goodbye, Dad. She is super athletic.
Bomb bees and enough electricity to fry her body with mine.
Yeah, the hostage thing is my biggest
Our
concern.
next attack is bound to tear up my daughter's body.
Right, it's not even the threat for Knuckle Duster.
That's how she looked that day. I let that look of hatred stop me. I should
We were
have
all a little bit
stopped her,
heated, yeah.
But all I did was bark like a scared dog. I did everything wrong and couldn't even move a muscle.
Yeah. This is an important reflection. I also sympathize with it heavily. I mean, like, I don't like his behavior. It's just scary because you know you're losing control of your daughter. And also you probably have your ego tied up into it in a way that's counterproductive. You are the strong one that takes care of your daughter. You're the authority that will fix everything. You need to be the one that is respected. That is part of the seed of the problem because that model, it's not well-rounded enough to meet the complexity of the situation and the other people. But then when you start failing and you're really afraid of what it means to fail, you lean on the tools you know and have developed because they're all you've known in the past that have worked. So you dig your heels into the very thing that's creating the problem. I need to be strong for my family. If I'm seen as weak, then I lose respect. Everything slips out from between my fingers. I'm being challenged. Well, I can't back down. I need to overcome this with force. If I just will my way through this one last time.
But things are different now. I won't freeze. I'll step over the line.
It depends on how you mean that.
Enemies are the ones we love most. The basic principle remains the same. Just take a step and strike.
Okay, I'll take over the line
I won't let you go!
to mean going the extra mile and crossing your own threshold. It's kind of crazy that the physical representation of this is him knocking the hell out of his daughter.
You bastard.
The line also can be seen as the neutral zone where you're both trying to protect your own egos. Stepping over the line in the case of that conversation that ended their relationship would be stepping out of the current framework and letting go of the whole I'm your powerful father who knows what's right for you thing and just listening.
That body's gonna be dead soon.
What?
Yeah, you got it. If you want to keep
We have an
that
antidote,
heart
right?
beating, it'll need a shock. Same thing I did to save my own life.
Okay, it was a defibrillator.
If Tomo's brain stops,
This is a
everything's
weird game
gonna
of
get
chicken.
Real bad for you, real quick.
Get out. Yeah, okay. It makes sense, yeah. Survival instinct takes over. And now we save her.
All that's left is a queen bee that doesn't even have a swarm to call her own.
Disgusting.
One that's lost too much strength to fly or think. Nothing but a maggot.
What is it originally, though? It's not a human quirk? Awesome. Looks so cool.
Now then.
We need to get her to a hospital, yeah.
What are you gonna do with something like that?
Revival.
Sometimes we stop hearts and sometimes we start them.
All right, you got it. But I mean it. Those drugs will kill you if you don't cut back.
Maybe this is the end of the road, when he can finally get off of them.
Come on.
He crossed a lot of lines. Oh my god, to be this close, after all this, to be this close to rescuing your daughter and have her be just prone.
Restraints are in place.
Don't cut away.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Feel kind of bad for him, don't you?
Would you mind if we wait a few more minutes before I hand him over to you guys?
Yeah, he needs
What?
he needs a friend, man. He needs a mentor. He needs just anyone, anything.
Seems like they're getting to the good part.
Is he gonna take her to the take him to the concert? I don't know if that's what he needs. That's nice of Aizawa, though. And Aizawa did make it to the concert after all. I like that guy's mindset. Low expectations. Pleasantly surprised. I'm thrilled if something doesn't suck.
I'm Tsukauchi with the Court Crimes Division.
Oh,
Hi.
A bee?
I have no way of knowing if it's related to what happened tonight.
Okay, they're catching on. They just didn't know.
Data on subjects taste sweet as honey. Ah, there we are. Thick and drippy as
The hell
it
is
oozes
this?
down, like a batch of honey collected straight out of a beehive.
What the hell?
And thus, the many reduced to one. Or whatever.
Many reduced to one, like all for one. I guess there could be some sort of synthetic all for one thing happening. If you figure out compounds for each individual quirk and can combine it into a single compound. Though I think it's all for one putting this whole thing together anyway, right? We didn't get the catharsis of the rescue. I mean, I think it might be safe to assume that the rescue was a success. I mean, I think thematically at least, character-wise, there was the growth. The twist of this arc for Knuckle Duster just adds so much to his character. The fact that he's hanging out with kids, really nice, obedient kids, while he's missing and worrying about his daughter who he feels he's failed, it puts him in a different light. In a weird way, it actually makes him seem a little bit more measured, because he's had his insanities, and he's often been impatient, and without knowing the daughter stuff, it just seems like he's itching for conflict and is overly violent. And I think it's implied there's a little bit of that, maybe stemming from some past career in heroism, liking challenges, etc. But really, a lot of it seems like he's just panicking and trying to keep it together as best as he can, knowing there's a time limit on his daughter's life, and that all these people he meets who have taken Trigger are a potential lead to rescuing her before the time is up. And so there's no time to mess around. The fact that he's been so calm and has been able to drop nuggets of wisdom for Koichi and Pop and care about them and be genuinely decent to them, even if like there's some ethical questions about the situations he's been putting them in. I think it ends up looking favorably for him, especially with the outcome, which is that they really weren't put in any danger at all, even though nominally they were being used as bait. And adding onto that, the fact that someone this strong-headed and willful, used to punching his way through every situation, including this situation, to be able to turn the lens back on himself and realize his own failures and let go a little bit and soften up a little bit. Maybe it comes back to the thing he said in his first appearance of like, being a hero, doing the right thing means doing whatever it takes. You know, if you have the right North Star, you'll do what you have to, and that might not always be convenient for you and the way you want to think about yourself and the way you want your narrative of events to go. But the thing you care about is so important, it demands it, and being able to step up to that challenge, that is one of the elements of being a hero. That's how I'm reading the whole step over the line thing. It might not be so much crossing a line ethically or crossing the lines of what you feel is right, and instead of sort of breaking through what you want to believe or how you want to be perceived or what you think real strength means when it's just doing damage. Crossing out of yourself and into thinking about other people and caring about other people and sacrificing yourself for them. Whether that's an enemy or a loved one, like you said, the process will be the same following the North Star. Being able to have a change of heart, restarting your heart, literally, with the electric currents of your passion. There maybe is also a reading of him saving his daughter as him approaching himself, because they're mirrors for each other, right? That willfulness, I'm gonna do what I want no matter what. He willingly steps over the line into her space, which is technically, physically speaking, a risk because you're in range of attack. Crossing into someone's AT field means letting yours dissolve a little bit, letting your guard down, admitting your mistakes, and that maybe ends up actually being a counter, as opposed to a stalemate of brute force. I've thought about this in very simple, non-dramatic ways of like, a lot of heated conversations are due before they start because the actual emergent goal is not right. The emergent goal is often winning, forcing you to accept my thing, my view, because I'm most comfortable there, and I don't like that yours is different from mine because you're threatening what I have. Whereas even though it's really difficult, if you can separate the different elements, we're like, I don't need to force anything on you. This is just what I believe, and simultaneously, I care about you and respect you as a human being and have no ill will towards you. And this just happens to be what I think. I have no axe to grind. I have no agenda other than just expression and getting along with you and wanting the best for you. Suddenly, it becomes a lot more interesting and a lot more becomes possible because the ideas are actually allowed to come out and interact, as opposed to that interaction happening on the level of ego posturing and destroying you, making you look stupid and me look smart. It also happened to be a really beautiful fight visually. I'm curious what Knuckle Duster's role in the show will be after this incident, after his main objective is completed.
Suddenly, Master is
What?
gone.
Okay.
All he left behind was his vigilante
That
gear.
answers my question for now, I guess, but
Next
also
time,
raises more
what
questions.
a man takes with him. Now, I'll keep being a vigilante without him.
That seems risky and interesting. It was always really nice having him around, having that guidance, and saving our lives a bunch of times, but also very interesting territory because it's sort of taken off the training wheels a bit.